Thank you, Dave. Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for sharing some of your time with us today. We're going to talk about how to trade tech moves with QQQ options by harnessing the PercentR indicator. I know that's a mouthful. My name is Chris Sayre. As Dave said, I am the lead consultant at BigTrends. Before I go any further, if you're not familiar with QQQ, it is one of the most highly traded ETFs out there in the market, day in, day out. It tracks the NASDAQ 100. PercentR indicator, created by Larry Williams, stands for percent range. We'll dive into that more and talk about how we use it differently here at BigTrends. Before I go any further, as you know, I've got to read the disclaimer to you. As Dave was talking about, the information provided in this presentation is based on our proprietary research and is intended for illustrative purposes only and are not to be construed as specific advisory recommendations. Stocks and options trading have large potential rewards, but also large potential risks. The past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. See our terms of use on the BigTrends.com homepage for more information. So as we said, my name is Chris Sayre, lead consultant at BigTrends. If you've never heard of BigTrends, BigTrends was started by Price Headley in November of 1999. So over 25 years ago. We've been around for over 25 years. And if you notice there at the last bullet point, I joined Price and his team here in Lexington, Kentucky over 13 years ago. Another little quick tidbit, I was one of Price's earliest clients back when he launched BigTrends. So Price and I have known each other for multiple decades now. If you have any questions after the presentation, reach out to me, call the 800 number, email me there, chris@bigtrends.com. Enough about me, enough about BigTrends. Let's talk about you and what you're going to learn today. As you can see in the banner over on the right-hand side, QQQ Options Playbook. Now, that is the alert service. That's what we call them here at BigTrends. You can call it a trading system. You can call it a newsletter, but it's QQQ Options Playbook. We're going to talk about how we boosted results with less work, tactics from our many decades of experience. As I said, we've been around for several decades now, and we all want to work more efficiently, right? Got success stories and chart examples, see what these trades look like. I'm in my mid-50s, been doing this for a while. One of the things I've learned from interacting with folks just like yourself over my many years of experience is most of us are visual learners. So that's why I have chart examples and case studies to share with you today. As I said, QQQ Options Playbook is our trading system. I'm going to reveal that to you, let you learn some trading strategy and how you can get these QQQ Options Playbook trades starting today. So let's kick off today's event with a winning trade example. Then I'll explain more about how QQQ Options Playbook works. So the only security that we're trading in our newsletter are the Qs, as they're known in the trading world. QQQ tracks the NASDAQ 100. Okay, we can trade calls as shown on this example. We can also trade puts as well. You see that we made 100% on this trade. That is our profit objective on every trade, as we target 100%. We use a 50% stop loss, so we risk one to make two. Now, please hear me when I say that. This does not mean every trade will either be a 50% loss or 100% winner. No, I'll tell you more about that because we do have what we call a time stop when we'll exit these trades. Now, the indicator that you see at the bottom of the chart is the PercentR, percent range indicator, created by Larry Williams. Now, Larry used a negative scale on his. We use a positive scale, so 0 to plus 100 on ours. Now, one of the things in the QQ Options Playbook is that we divide it into 8 categories. Positive day, negative day, and then 4 categories for the PercentR. What you're going to find out here in a little bit, we only use some of them. So you see the move here in the Qs. We were not hesitant to enter this trade after it had gapped up prior to the previous day's close with the red bar there. We entered, and these trades, a little key point here for you, these trades come out at 3:40 p.m. Eastern time, 3:40 p.m. Eastern time. Now, before you say, Chris, that's not much time to get into the trade because the bell rings at 4 o'clock. That would be true if the QQQ options did not trade until 4:15. So if you're newer to the QQQ options, they do trade till 4:15 p.m. Eastern time every day. Now, our trades are timely, so you need to enter them as quickly as possible when we send them out to you. And yes, QQQ options are traded every single day. They have expirations that expire every day. So we entered that trade at 413, got out at 826, and made 100%. Let's dive into some of the strategy guidelines here. Average holding period, 2 days. Now, as I've told you, I've been at BigTrends for over 13 years, interacting with traders just like yourself each and every trading day. And the vast majority of traders that I interact with tell me that they're swing traders. And that can mean different things to different people. But here at BigTrends, that means anywhere from 1 day to 5 days. Okay, 1 day to 5 days. So with our QQQ options playbook strategy, we enter, and if it does not hit that 50% stop or the 100% target, we will exit the trade 48 hours later. Okay, so if we get in on a Monday, it doesn't hit the 50% stop and target, we'll be getting out on Wednesday at 3:40 p.m. Eastern time. But as you can see there on the slide, no day trades whatsoever. So you can wipe that concern off your list there. No day trades, so no worries. What type of strategy? As I said earlier, there's 8 different categories that these trades can fall into, but there's only 3 of them, 3 of the 8 that trigger signals for us using the PercentR, using the candle movements. Okay, each one of these charts that I'll be showing you today is a daily chart. Why? Because the trading system is based off how the price of the QQQ is acting within that last few minutes of the trading day, and of course in relation to the PercentR indicator. What options do we trade? Straight calls and puts, as I shared with you earlier. And as you can see there, 3 DTE expiration. So if you're newer to options, what does DTE mean? It's an acronym for days until expiration. So yes, we'll go 3 days out, okay? But we'll close the trade down in 48 hours if that profit target of 100% is not reached, or if that 50% stop is not reached. So as I told you, we start with a daily chart. New trades can trigger only once per day, Monday through Friday, any day that the market's open. That does not mean that there will be a trade every day. Please hear me when I say that. There will not be trades every day. But when a trade is triggered, it's going to be sent at 3:40 p.m. Eastern time. Now, this defined scanning session eliminates noise and allows us to use the power of those 3 DTE options. Now, as you can see there on my slide, eliminates noise is in red. As I shared with you earlier, I've been trading and investing for many decades now. And when I first started, and as you saw on my introductory slide, I was a stockbroker right out of college with Dean Witter Reynolds. It's no longer Dean Witter Reynolds, got bought out. And back then, we only had just a few sources of financial information, unless you wanted to go to the library or wait for something to show up in the mail. Now we have multiple channels for business news. We have multiple financial websites and all kinds of publications. We're very systematic here at BigTrends, okay? Very systematic. Why? With our scanning, with our indicator, with the price action. Based off our testing, we feel like that eliminates noise and keeps that subjectivity to a minimum. Now, scanning for signals every day has resulted in high trade frequency and large profit potential. Now, as I said, it's not going to be a trade every day, not going to be a trade every day, about a trade or 2 per week if my memory serves me correctly. And as I've shared with you, we're targeting 100% on these trades. So how to get the most bang for your buck while managing your risk? 3 DT options allow us to get lots of leverage for a small investment. So remember, the options that we are entering expire in 72 hours, give or take, right? But as you can see there, I say small investment. What do I mean by that? The average contract price has been $3.43 per contract over the trailing 12 months. So if you're newer to options, there's 100 shares represented in one options contract. So if you multiply 343 by 100, you get $343. So on average, you can do our trades from the QQQ options playbook for just under $400 a trade. Now, if you're a larger trader, most certainly you can trade larger if it fits with your financial situation. Why? Because as I said earlier, the QQQs are one of the most highly traded and one of the most liquid securities out there in the market. Now, as I told you earlier, these trades are going to be exited after 2 days at 3:40 p.m. if they have not been closed before then. What does close before then mean? It means it could be hitting the 50% stop or that 100% profit target. If one of those two objectives is not reached, then we will close that trade down 2 days after entering at 3:40 p.m. This avoids us being affected and impacted by the final day of volatility. I know there's a lot of you out there, not a lot, some of you out there that love trading zero DTEs, but man, if you've been trading those at all, you know time is your enemy because they're expiring that day and theta decay is huge. So why should you care about our QQQ options playbook strategy? Well, let's talk about the overall performance. This strategy was started in January of 2023, and through this morning, if you'd allocated up to $5,000 to every trade, all wins, all losses, added them up, you'd be up $100,571. $100,571 before any commission or subscription investment. Now that's based off a $25,000 account. We're talking up 419%. Now, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Future results are going to vary. Also want to point out, as I said earlier, if you're a smaller trader, okay, let's look at $1,000 per trade over that same time period on a $5,000 account. $17,443 in gross profit before any commission or subscription investment, 363% return under those parameters. Again, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Future results are going to vary. But as I shared with you just a few slides ago, you don't have to trade with $5,000. You don't have to trade with $1,000. On average, you can do it for just under $400. All right. So the Qs are available to all traders as long as you're comfortable of being at least $400 average into a trade. Step number 2, you got to look for that specific setup that I teased you about on that first chart example. So each day, as I told you, will fall into one of 8 categories. 3 of those categories are tradable patterns. So 3 out of 8 is 37.5%. Using some knowledge that I have from back in the day when I was a broker, when stocks traded in 8s. So 3 8s is 37.5%. So that's one of the reasons why you would hire us and subscribe to our QQQ Options Playbook newsletter, is that we find those 8 patterns and then we identify if one of the 3 is available that trading day. And then, of course, we would send the trade to you and our other subscribers. We look for the %R to be within certain windows, as I said earlier, and then we confirm those setups with the candlestick patterns. So %R, % range, multiple windows, 4 windows for the %R, and then the candlestick patterns. And it's not just as simple as green or red. We use the historical profit factor, that may be a new term to you, to determine which days were the best for long trades, short trades, or neither. So that's right. Sometimes the best trading decision is no action at all. We will not force trades out just for the sake of frequency. Now, historical profit factor, what does that mean? That does not mean every trade is going to be positive. You've heard me talk about there will be losing trades. Not every trade is going to be positive, okay? But what our research has found under this particular trading system, on this particular security, there is a positive edge to this trading system over time, okay? Now let's look at some trade examples. As you heard me talk about earlier, I believe we are visual learners. Again, at the bottom, the indicator represented is %R for % range. 4 different windows that it can fall into. We're going to talk about this trade here, okay? Those were the QQQ November 7, 491 calls, entered at 401 and exited the next day at 100.6 0.75%. Remember, these trades come out at 3:40 p.m. Eastern time. We're targeting 100% with a 50% stop. We got into that trade. It met our criteria. Now, what you're going to notice in this first black oval, that candle is red. But when we jump up here to this other entry oval candle, that candle is green. So it's not as just simple saying, aha, I know they buy on red candles and sell on green candles. Well, no. I'm showing you a red candle here. I'm showing you a green candle. Both of them entry days for call trades. But what you don't know is the exact setting that we use for the %R. The other thing that you're going to learn once you become a subscriber is how our team does the option selection process. Yes, I've told you we go 3 days out until expiration, but what I haven't told you is exactly how they select that particular option to send out to our clients. So this other trade made 100.49% as well. How many, let me take this ink off the slide. How many of you would have entered this second trade after this gap up? You would have said, no, this is way too extended. I'm not entering that trade. Well, our system said it met one of those 3 tradable patterns and we entered it. Here's another trade. December 6th, 516 calls, entered at 316. Now you see these higher closes. We enter the trade, get a nice little gap up the next day, 100.63%. And you'll notice that the %R is way up, Hey, John, good to see you. He's asking, is the settings of the %R, is it like a stochastic? Yes, it is like a stochastic. It is an oscillator. Now, the QQQ options playbook has been finding an average of 8 new options trades per month, okay? So like I said earlier, not a trade every day, a trade or 2 per week. More case examples. Now, here are puts. As I told you, we can trade in either direction. Now, you'll notice the %R down here in this lower oversold area, and look at this long flush green candle. Some of you out there might have said, oh, the selling pressure from the last several days has exhausted with this nice long green candle. I'm buying calls here. Well, you would have lost, okay? Our system said that rally move is too extended. It's time to buy puts. We think it's going to fall again, and it did for an even 100% trade. December 27th, entered these at 391, closed them out at 782. See a little bottom here with the green candle. We enter, very next day, 100%, %R in one of our windows that we look for, and entered that trade. Here's January 7th, 511 calls, entered at 4-on-1, closed out at 802. And remember, these are calls, okay? But you see the Qs had been falling, and this candle is not a green exhaustive candle, like on the other example that I shared with you, all right? We entered these calls thinking that the flush was over, got that right the very next day, and made 100%. Yes, Omar, we're only trading calls and puts, no spreads of any kind. And as I said earlier, not every trade's going to be a winner. There's going to be losing trades. When I showed you those graphics of the historical performance, you've heard me mention it a few times. Not all trades, even when I was talking about historical profit factor, that doesn't mean every trade's going to be a winner. Let me show you an example of a losing trade. These were the December 2, 508 calls, entered at 333, got stopped out at 53.15%. So remember, we use a 50% stop, right? That's our stop. And we use the plus 100% for the profit target. Risk 1 to make 2. %R was in one of our key areas. We entered the trade and it just didn't work out. Sometimes that's going to happen, okay? Sometimes that's going to happen. Let's go to the next slide, please. Now here's a trade that gap past our target for a winner that's a little larger than expected. Now, as I said, I've been trading for several decades. Gaps can work against you and they can work for you. So let me show you an example of where a trade gapped in our favor. Entered at 391, closed out at 955 for 144.25%. You see this flat action over here? And then we got a little bit move higher, and our system said, you know what? This candle action is exactly what we're looking for. This percent R being at the upper end of the range with that particular candle pattern fits one of the three tradable patterns, and we entered and we got that nice gap the very next day for that 144.25%. Now, trading 3-day until expiration options can be seen as aggressive. But with our unique trade management, it has been extremely successful. Let me remind you how this strategy has performed over time. So going back to the inception in January of 2023 through this morning, with a $25,000 account, allocating up to $5,000 to every trade, that trader would have been up 419%. And remember, you're not in the market every day. 8 trades per month on average. $100,571 in gross profit before any commission or subscription investment. Now, as the banner says, you can trade fewer contracts. Please hear me today when I say this. We would love to have you join the BigTrends family. If you trade the Qs, make sure you allocate money that fits your financial situation. Yes, I'm showing $5,000. Yes, I'm showing you $1,000 a trade here on a $5,000 account, made 363%, $17,443 in gross profit before any commission or subscription investment. Now, on these slides, of course, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Future results are going to vary. But like my boss, Price Headley, likes to say, what's not going to vary is our analyst team's determination to monitor the markets for these setups. Remember, 3 tradable patterns after 8 possible scenarios. Look at this. I love this chart, right? Again, from a visualization standpoint, 5,000 goes to $22,443 over that time frame that I shared with you. This one's based off the $1,000 per trade. Again, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Future results are going to vary. Now, since you're a Festival of Traders attendee, I have received approval to offer you a fantastic trading opportunity. I will show you how you can get real-time trade alerts when this strategy finds a trade. Now, listen, I know there's several of you out there, but this is only available for the first 34 traders. So don't delay. I know we have numerous speakers today. So grateful for Dave to invite us and to join the Festival of Traders event today. But we are opening this window for 34 traders. So again, the name of the trading system, newsletter, or as we call them here at BigTrends, alert service, 3 months of trade alerts from the QQQ Options Playbook Alert Service. Resources for you. Maybe you want to learn more. Okay, maybe you don't want to just receive trades. You want to learn how we trade, how we do the option selection process. Well, Price Headley, our founder and CEO, does weekly video updates where he breaks down every trade, win or loss, tells you why we got in, why we got out. He also shares market commentary. The QQQ Options Playbook Settings and Rules Sheet. This is a 2-page PDF that would reside in your BigTrends account. You can print it out, you can download it, but it is the condensed version of how our analyst team find these trades, identifying 3 of those 8 tradable patterns. And they also talk about how they use, there's a little nugget for you, average true range to do the option selection process. Now, what if you have questions along the way? Well, no worries. We're going to give you a dedicated email address that goes directly to Price and our team of analysts. That is given to you in your welcome email. Now, the total package value is $891. That's based off the monthly list price of $297. Then I've shown you the power of a trade, right? You're a $1,000 trader and it hits 100% winner. You just made $1,000 on a trade and you get to trade for 3 months. Now, I'm not saying your very first trade is going to be 100% winner, and I'm definitely not saying you need to be trading $1,000. You need to be trading what fits for you. But a Festival of Traders special package, as I said, 3 months of trade alerts from QQQ Options Playbook, total package value $891. First 34 traders, brace yourself. Look what I was able to get for you today. $177. You heard me correctly. This is not per month. It's not $177 per month. It's $177 for 3 months when you go to members members.bigtrends.com/festival. Dave, thank you and your team for putting that in the chat box. members.bigtrends.com/festival. And I'm going to take you to our checkout cart and show you how simple and easy this is to navigate. Billing information, top left, you'll notice first name, last name, email. Please put in your trading email here so your relationship with us starts off very smoothly. I know many of you have multiple email addresses, but please put in your trading email so you can get your purchase receipt, your welcome email, and of course your trade alerts. Payment information, top right. We take the 4 major credit cards: Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover. But if you glance down to the bottom right-hand column, you'll also notice that we accept PayPal. So there's 5 ways for you to get started for 3 months of access for just $177. Now remember, this is only available to the first 34 traders. And I know there's more than 34 traders in the room right now. First 34 traders, $177. Again, that's not per month for the next 3 months. That's one time, $177 for 3 months of access to our QQQ options playbook. Now, I've got more for you, so please stay with me. Maybe you still have some questions. I've tried to answer them as they popped up into the chat box, but let's talk about it. What type of strategy is used? Buying calls or puts, like Omar asked. We're only buying calls and only buying puts, no spreads. How will I receive these trade alerts? Real time via email, just like I talked about in the checkout cart, members.bigtrends.com/festival. But you'll also notice that we use WhatsApp. All right. This is our answer for mobile notification. If you're newer to WhatsApp, no worries. It's free. It's a free application you can put on your laptop, your desktop, your tablet, your mobile device. We provide you the setup instructions in 2 locations. In your welcome email, you'll also find them in your BigTrends account under the My Account section. Do you have to use WhatsApp to be a subscriber? No, but if you want to be notified in addition to email, WhatsApp is our solution and answer. We've been doing it for about 1.5 years now, and it's very smooth, very clean, and definitely a lot more efficient than text messaging. When are the new QQ or QOP trades sent? Remember, 3:40 p.m. Eastern time. When are the trades closed using the time stop? 2 days later at 3:40 p.m. Eastern time, if the 50% stop has not been reached or the 100% profit target. How many trades per month? Averages 8 trades per month. Will there be day trades? No, no day trades. Mark that off your list. What is the recommended price of a trade? $3.43 per contract, the last 12 months average. What are the resources? 3 resources are going to be available to you if you want to utilize them. If you just want to sit back and get the trades and trade, that's fine. But if you want to be educated and take it a step further, we provide these 3 resources for you. Weekly video updates from Price Headley, our founder and CEO. You get access to the settings and rule sheet for the QQQ options playbook. And don't forget, you get a dedicated email address that goes to Price and our team of analysts. Remember this chart that I showed you earlier, this trade that we closed out just a few weeks ago? The January 24, 524 calls. We entered at 413, closed them out at 826 for 100% profit. Okay. Well, let's talk about this trade. This is what a trade alert looks like. Now, I'm going to let you in a little bit secret here. January 21st is a very special day to me. It's my birthday. Now, we didn't put this trade out just because it was my birthday, but it was nice to see this trade come out. Came out at what? 3:40 p.m. Eastern time. Buy to open means you're just starting a new trade, right? Buy to open. You think about somebody handing you your favorite beverage. You got to open the lid, pop the top. Well, you've got to enter the trade. You got to open it to play. You know it's going to be on the Qs only. QQQ. We tell you the exact expiration, January 24th. We tell you the strike price. We tell you it's a call. We even give you the option symbol down here on the second line. And of course, we tell you what to pay for that trade. So no doubt, you know you're trading the Qs, you know the expiration, you know the strike price, you know the direction, and you know what to pay. So no doubt. Now, the next morning, January 22nd, before the bell rang at 9:17, we sent this out before the bell rang. We give a stop and a target, and we work these good till cancel. That just means you use that 50% stop, that 100% profit target until you hear otherwise from us, which would be what, 2 days later when we close it out based off the time stop. Now, if your schedule does not allow you to monitor the markets all day long, no worries. You can use what's called an OCO order. Now, please hear me. You do not have to use an OCO order to be a subscriber. But if you're working a full-time job, maybe you're retired, volunteering, watching the grandkids, playing pickleball, whatever the case may be, OCOs can be very beneficial. People think I trade all day long here at BigTrends. No, I'm doing webinar events like these, and I'm assisting traders just like you. So when I am trading and do not have time to monitor the markets, I use OCOs. One cancels the other. That just simply means when the profit target was hit on this trade, if you had an OCO, the trading software would cancel that stop that was working. Let's talk about the math. Again, let's go to visualization. If you'd put $1,000 toward this trade, it would have been 2 contracts, and it resulted in a profit of $826 or 100%, as I shared with you before commission or subscription investment. You get in on January 21st at 413, that's 826 into the trade. You get out the next day when it hit that profit target. It's 1,652 into the account. So the math is the 1,652 less the 826 results in 826. Why? Because it was 100% winner. Omar, thanks for joining. He just put in the chat box that he's in. Thank you. Appreciate that. So remember the Festival Traders Special Package. 3 months of trade alerts from our QQQ options playbook. Total package value, $891. You get the 3 months of trade alerts and access to those 3 resources for 3 months. Only available, sounds like at least 33. Sounds at least like 33 traders now since Omar said he's in. 177. Hey, Leon, good to see you. The address or the website is members.bigtrends.com/festival. I believe Dave's going to throw that out there again for you. Dave, thank you and your team for doing that. It's members, it's plural, BigTrends is plural.com/festival, right? Because we're at the Festival of Traders. Dave and his team created and designed this event for all of us to get together today. Again, Dave, thanks to you and your team for doing that. You'll notice, folks, no www necessary. It's simply members.bigtrends.com/festival. Now, listen, I told you BigTrends has been around for over 25 years. I also told you I was one of Price Headley's earliest clients back when he launched BigTrends. I also shared with you that I've been with him over 13 years as a BigTrends employee. And I also shared with you that I'm on the front lines each and every trading day interacting with traders just like yourself. What I'm about ready to read to you, and I want you to hear this because this was sent to me last week from a client, unsolicited, and this is unpaid. Dear Chris and all BigTrends, all at BigTrends, I can't thank you enough for always working with me to smooth out issues or questions I have with my subscriptions. I've been with you now for 10 years plus, and I don't regret for 1 minute for choosing BT as my #1 and only trading organization now. I spent years prior to BT trying many different programs, all without success until BigTrends. Not once have I ever had an issue that BT could not fix or suggest a way to correct. Their customer service is the best and above all others I've dealt with prior, and never without a quick response or phone call to answer any questions or issues I was dealing with in my account, and always with professional and courteous responses every time. You will not regret joining this team of experts, and I'm sure you will always be pleased with the professionalism and knowledge in trading, especially with options. I'm blessed to be a part of this organization and always will. Tom W. Again, unsolicited, unpaid testimonial for a BigTrends client that had been with us over 10 years. I shared this with you earlier. If you'd started with a $5,000 account back in the inception of January of 2023 through this morning, allocating up to $1,000 to every trade, right? Every trade, $22,443. 5 goes to $22,443. $17,443 in gross profit before any commission or subscription investment. As I showed you, to get in the door today is $177, and that gets you 3 months, 90 days, 1 quarter, however you want to break it down. $177. Now let's talk about commissions. I told you earlier on I was a stockbroker right out of college. If you would have called me up and you wanted to buy 100 shares of XYZ Corporation, you were going to pay me a couple $100, if not more, just to trade stocks. Nowadays, we can trade stocks and ETFs for zero commissions. Back when I first started and was trading options in college, there were only monthly options available. As I shared with you today, QQQ has options that expire every day. Commissions back then were extremely high to trade a single contract. Now you can trade a contract for $1 or less per contract. If you're paying more than $1 a contract to trade options with your broker, reach out to your broker, find out what it's going to take to get $1 or less. If they won't work with you, start shopping around. It's a highly competitive industry. You may be sitting there and saying, Chris, I'm new. I've just started out. I have a small account. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Brokers want an active account. They want an active account. So maybe you have a $5,000 account, but you're in there trading several times per week, generating commissions for them. To me, that is more valuable to them than a $2 million account that's sitting there in a money market account. They want activity. They want their traders. They want people to be busy. They're looking for order flow. One more time, Festival of Traders special package. 3 months of trade alerts from QQQ Options Playbook. Total package value, $891. First 34 traders. I know we've got Omar in the door, so now it's at least 33. 177. members.bigtrends.com/festival. Now, I'm going to take you to that page one more time, and I'm going to throw some stuff in the chat box for you real quickly. Hope Dave doesn't mind. I'm going to throw this out there. I'm putting that URL out there, but I'm also putting our contact information. You'll notice on this page, members.bigtrends.com/festival. Top right, our contact information, 1-800-244-8736. If you'd like to talk to me directly, my extension, I put that in your chat box, 730. Your welcome email is going to come from clientcare@bigtrends.com. If you have questions, reach out to our team. I shared my email address with you earlier. I just shared it just a second ago. It's chris@bigtrends.com. Remember this email field. I click into it on purpose to highlight it red. Please put in your trading email address here. Payment information, we take the 4 major credit cards, Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover. You'll notice down at the bottom, we also take PayPal. As you come down the cart, you'll notice terms and conditions are listed here. They're also listed here. We list them twice, and we list our contact information twice as well. 1-800-BIG-TRENDS, email clientcare@bigtrends.com. And down here in the footer, it says we're here to help. Again, we've been here for over 25 years. I've been here for over 13. Omar, thank you. He says, congratulations. I appreciate that. He said he's going to be the next testimonial. Email me, Omar, chris@bigtrends.com, or email our client care department, clientcare@bigtrends.com. All right, members.bigtrends.com/festival. Again, no www needed. Members is plural, BigTrends is plural. .com/festival.